Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me and we're going to be using the Urban Decay Distortion palette as well as my Marc Jacobs. These are the Snake Charmer lip set, so I'm going to be using both of these products today in the get ready with me. I did just finish taking off 2 masks. I did a double masking, so my skin is nice and hydrated right now. I'm not dressed for the day or anything right now. I'm still in something very casual. So I thought I would just go ahead and put my makeup on and then I'll do my clothing later because I always end up with makeup all over my clothes anyway. So that would probably be the smartest way to end up doing my makeup from here out anyway. That way there I'm not always ruining my pants. I don't know about you guys, but I always do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray my face using the Makeup Revolution Pro Base Aqua Primer Priming Base. My friend Lashes Tony XO sent me this in our friend swap. I am really enjoying it. It does have a very floral scent to it though, so if you don't like the floral notes, then you may not enjoy this spray. But I sprayed that on a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and prime my face, and I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs. This is the Invisible Undercover Hydrating Primer. So this one is kind of similar to the Too Faced, the Hangover RX Primer, in my opinion, because it's very lotion-like. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on and get that spread out. So this distortion palette, guys, it's a little confusing. Like the way that you're supposed to do it, you're supposed to layer it up. It comes in like sections. So like the way that, I'll show you guys once we get into it. But it's a very different, unique palette. I have been playing with it quite a few times and it's pretty unique. I really like the colors in there. I like the toppers, but I feel like the formulation feels a little bit different than most of the Urban Decay products that I've ever tried. So that's kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but when a product feels differently than what it normally does, it throws you off a little bit. You're like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's a different formulation. Now I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Foundation. You guys probably saw me use most of these products in my No Mirror Makeup Challenge that I did yesterday with Nikki Murphy. And that was very interesting. That was very interesting. My eye look came out quite interesting. It was pretty bad. If you haven't, oh man, I think I just got, no I didn't. I thought I got foundation all over my little hat here. I'm trying to pull my mirror forward so I can see myself. I'm not doing another no mirror makeup challenge. That's not a good idea. So I'm just going to start dabbing this on. This is my foundation. I may end up layering this up a little bit just because I do have a little bit of acne issues going on right now on this side of my face. And partly it's because of something I ate, and the other part is because I didn't change my the pillowcases like daily like I had been doing. I changed it like 3 days and then I had forgotten to do it every day. So that's my fault. My skin has gotten to a point where it's like, look, these are the things you've been doing really nice for us, so what are you changing for? So I need to get back into making sure that I get up every morning and rip the pillowcases off and put some fresh ones on, because that really does help with my acne, because this is the side I sleep on. I don't sleep with my hand under my face, but I do sleep with the pillow right there. And so if you're rolling around on the same pillow that you used the night before or whatever, then it can tend to break you out a little bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit more already because I know I'm going to need it over here. I'm going to add just some right here to help with the extra coverage that I need. So this week has been a little bit crazy this week. My son went yesterday to get his braces off. So that was interesting. That was an all-day experience. We spent all day pretty much there getting his braces off. Then my little guy, Max, he had surgery on Monday so that him and Molly cannot create babies anymore. So, because our only thing was that we really wanted them to have 1 litter of babies, and then after that we're getting both of the animals, both of the dogs fixed. So both of them will be fixed. Molly will get it fixed eventually after she's done weaning her babies. But right now, of course, she is still nursing and enjoying being a mama with her little babies. Those babies are getting so big. I came home the other day from work and oh my gosh, I couldn't find any of the babies. I was like, where did they go? And we leave the kennel open, so that was my bad. We leave it open and they were all under the couch. I was like, oh my gosh. Thank goodness there you are. I was so worried because we have a spiral staircase and I thought, oh my gosh, what if they fell down the spiral staircase? So now I need to actually remember that in the daytime when I leave to go to work, they need to actually have the kennel shut with her in it, or I need to block that area off. I need to do something. I need to come up with some sort of solution. I do have a playpen to put them into. I'm probably talking super fast right now. But I do have a playpen to put them into, but I haven't done that yet. Because I'm just not sure how I would get Molly to be able to stay in there as well, because she's still got to feed them. So it's just a little bit hard to figure out. I did go ahead and order her a water bowl that attaches to the kennel so that way she can stay in the kennel for most of the day. But that's still, I don't know, that's just a long time for her to stay in there because she gets kind of like, I think they crawl all over her and she's just like, oh gosh, guys, just I need 2 minutes to myself. And she likes to crawl out of the kennel and have a little bit of peace to herself, which I don't blame her. What parent doesn't like a little bit of peace and quiet? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and I'm going to grab my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. My MAC Painterly Paint Pot, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to use this to prime my eyelids. This is my all-time favorite primer for my eyelids. I think it just does a fantastic job. I don't know about you guys, but I think if you find something that really works for you and you continue to use it, or if you see a YouTuber continue to use it, then you know it's a really good product, because especially when you have something like this and where I'm really getting down into there, I'm definitely using this a ton. Almost every time I do my makeup on my own when I'm not doing it on camera, this is what I use. I use this primer because it just works. It really does work. It's not actually a primer though. It's actually just like an eyelid color, so it's like an eyeshadow. But I've used it as a primer for a long time and it works really well for me. So I still like to tap it in a little bit with the Beauty Blender. Tap that in and to make sure that it's nice and smooth. Now I'm going to find my color switch to get, here it is. I thought I didn't bring it, but I did bring it. Okay, so I've got my color switch here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and clean my brush off using the color switch. So I like to just make sure there's no powders onto my brush. And I'm going to grab the Naked Original Basics palette. So I'm going to use this little palette right here because this palette is a little bit different where it doesn't have a whole lot of like matte shades. And I like to use a matte shade to lay down and everything. So I'm going to go in right here with, what is that? WOS. I'm not even sure what that stands for, but okay, we're going to use that. I'm going to use this to actually set down my eyelids. Have you guys already got all your Christmas stuff ready? Or your holiday stuff if you don't celebrate Christmas? I'm still working on a lot of it. I don't have hardly anything done yet. I feel like this year is going to be the year that I'm going to be shopping up until Christmas Eve. Which is awesome. No, it's not. That was a very much sarcastic remark right there, because I don't like shopping that late. I like having all of my stuff done early. And I just feel like I'm like running behind this year, and I don't know what the difference is this year than last year, other than the fact that I'm really tired lately, and I think it must be my iron levels, but I am just so tired lately. Now I'm going to go into Naked 2 right here, and I'm going to use that as my transition. So I'm just going to tap into there using the Morphe. This is the M441 brush, and I'm just going to start building up a transition shade. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do is just lay down a few of the colors onto my eyelid using the Urban Decay Distortion palette. And then we're going to layer over top of it using the colors that are at the top. I'll show you guys. So right now I just want to give myself a little bit of a matte look on my eyelids. So I'm just going to continue to put this on. And I'm going to go back into Naked 2. This is a perfect little palette to use when you have a palette like the Distortion palette where there's mostly shimmer shades. And if you're like me, I don't like to use shimmers in my crease. You can do that. You can totally put shimmers in your crease. There's no right or wrong way to do makeup. It's whatever makes you happy. That's the #1 rule in makeup. If it makes you happy, do it. It doesn't matter. There are no rules. So I'm just going to continue to do this. Blend this out a little bit. This just blends so effortlessly. Look how easy that just blended out for me. I think these shadows are really, really good. I need to get back into my Urban Decay shadows. I have all the Naked palettes and I need to get back into them. Right now I just have so many new palettes that I want to try out that it's like all of my old ones are getting pushed to the side and I feel kind of bad. I'm like neglecting them. Now let's go ahead and open up the Urban Decay Distortion palette. So I'm going to open this up. So here's what the outer packaging looks like. It's very pretty. It's very holographic. I love the outer packaging. And like I was telling you guys, the top row up here is the ones that are like the shade shifters. So these are supposed to go in order, like down the row here. So this shade right here is supposed to go over top of these shades. This shade's supposed to go over top of these shades and all the way down. That's how it's supposed to work, but you do not have to use it like that. Makeup, it can be used however you want to do it. So that's how we're going to do it today. We're going to do it however we want to do it. So I'm just going to lay some shades down onto my eyelashes, onto my eyelid, and then I'll show you how it looks when you shape shift it, not shape shift it, when you color shift it, I guess you could say. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, let's see, let's try something different this week. I did a blue look the other day, so let's go ahead and do a purple look. So let's do this Rogue color right here, and then we'll do a little bit of shag in the inner portion, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you apply this top shade right here, which is Mind Game over top of that. So that's how we're going to do it. So I need to find a flat shader brush, and this one here is the Royal and Langnickel, the detail brush. I was trying to find a number in here, but it's just called a detail brush. This was something I think we got in like BoxyCharm or something. So let's go ahead and try this purple. So I'm going to dip into this purple. Like I was telling you guys, these shades they feel a little bit different. They feel a little bit thicker in texture, and they are a little bit more harder pressed into the pan, but I'm assuming that they're meant to be like that. I don't really know. I know they work. They're definitely different. So I'm going to press this onto my eyelid. Press, press, press. I'm going to put it up into the crease, but not take it above the crease. So I'm going to take it taking it almost all the way in, but still leaving enough that I can put that lighter shade in the inner portion. So I'm going to get a little bit closer to you guys so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to go over again and grab some more purple. And again, just pat this on. You can totally use a wet brush with this, but I want to do it dry just so you can see how it looks dry. If you guys want to see more looks with this and maybe using wet brushes, let me know. Alright, so there that is. I'm going to actually pack on a little bit more just because I want to intensify it just a little bit. So I'm going to pack on just a tad more here on both sides. That's a really pretty shade of purple. I like that shade of purple. Some of these are more lighter washes of shades, and some of these are very pigmented, so that's something else to take note about this palette, is that not all of them are the same as far as the pigmentation. So I'm going to clean my brush off again using my color switch, get all of that purple shade off, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the lighter shade, which is down here, which is Shag. So my thing keeps moving on me. So we're going to use Shag down here. So this is like a purple silverish. Tap off a little bit, and I'm just going to place that in the inner portion and bring it back some, just so we can kind of smooth them together. This totally does not match my shirt, but don't worry, I'm not wearing this shirt for the day. This is just something very casual that I'm wearing right now. So do the same thing on the other side. We're focusing on makeup today. We're not focusing on clothes or hair. Do you guys ever have days like that where you're like, I could care less what I'm wearing, I'd rather just do my makeup. Makeup's more fun to play with than putting a nice cute outfit on? I don't know about you guys, but I do it all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit again, and now I'm just going to kind of pull this back. This is how I like to kind of shift, how I like to blend these back. Oh, good grief, I can't even speak. I just like to pull them back like this so that they kind of blend together. So then it's not like so cut in different directions. Do you see what I'm saying? So there are those two shades. Now we're going to go into Mind Game, which is that shade shifter one right here. So I'm actually going to use my finger to press this on. So here's what it looks like. Do you see that color right there? Isn't that really pretty? So we'll do it on this eye first. So we're going to put it all over so you can see how it shifts the shade. And you want to go in pretty good. You want to get a lot on your finger. But you'll see how it's shifting all the shades already. I'll close both eyes so you can see the difference. Okay, so there it is on this eye, and then there's the other eye now. Do you see the difference in the colors? I can totally see a difference. Now, we lost a little bit of that silver, which we can put that back on if we want to. We can go ahead and put that back on right here. Like that. And then we can do a little bit of the shade shifter again right over top of that one. There's not a whole lot of fallout for these shades because they're very tightly pressed. So there's not a whole lot of fallout whatsoever in my opinion. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Actually, let's do something a little bit different. Let's do two different colors. Let's see how it would look if we shade shifted with a different color. Let's go over to the blue one. Let's go over to Space. And let's shade shift with that. So here's the blue shade. And we're just going to press that in. And you'll see how it shifts the color completely. Do you see it? Like, it's so unique. I love the way that this palette works. I am having a bad problem with spitting on myself lately. Oh my gosh, it's gross. I get so excited. Look at that. Did you see that color? That is gorgeous. Again, we'll go back into that silver shade. And we'll put a little bit of that back in here so that we can differentiate the colors. And there we go. So we have two different eye looks going on, but that's okay. I don't care. Do you guys care? We can roll with it. Actually, I really like this one better. I like this one better than this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and change both of them to the blue shade. I really like that blue shifting. So let's shift the other one blue as well. So let's do that. So let's put a little bit more on my finger here. And let's shift this side as well. But this shade right here, if you just swatched it, let me show you. Just swatched. Right here it is. If you just swatch it, it doesn't look like much at all. I mean, it's a really pretty shade, but it doesn't look like much. But once you put it over top of a shadow, it is gorgeous. I love the way it turns out. I think it's just such a beautiful shade. I'm sure you could layer up the shade shifters as well. I don't know. It is kind of pretty. That would be a really pretty highlight on your cheeks. So if you wanted to be a little crazy, I could see me doing it though. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means you like makeup. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do my brow bone highlight. I'm going to go back into the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. And I'm going to use a clean brush. I'm going to find my color switch. Here it is. I'm going to clean my brush off. This is the Sigma Blending E25 brush. So I'm just going to clean all the color off of here. I think my color switch needs to be cleaned. All right, so now I'm going to go over to Venus. And Venus is just a very light white shade. And I'm just going to put that in my brow bone as my brow bone highlight, because I don't want to use any of those shade shifters in my highlight because that's just a little too intense for me. You can totally do that though. You can rock it however you want to. Alright. And then I think I'm going to deepen up this portion out here. So I'm going to go into this black shade right here. And I'm just going to dab that right there. Dab it along. And then we're going to blend out a little bit. Bring it out. This just deepens it up a little bit more. Okay, so there that is. I'm going to bring it in just a tad too. Alright, so there that is. Now I'm going to go and do the other side the same way. I'm going to grab a little bit of that black. I'm just going to dab it right there on the outer portion. Dab, dab, dab. And then we're going to blend. And we're going to bring it up and in. And there we go. I'm not even going to use a liner today because I really want to show off these beautiful colors on my lids. I don't want to cover any of it up. I'm going to clean off my brush and blend out just a little bit more because I think it could use a little bit more blending. So I'm going to come up closer to you guys so you can see the blending process. I'm just going to blend up close. You can totally hold your brush back further and do it, but I really wanted to make sure that I got it good and blended. You can totally do it lighter though. I was just being a little harsh. A little bit more firm blending. Alright, so there we go. This is blended and this one's blended. So we're good to go on that department. Now I need to go ahead and need to curl my lashes. So I'm going to curl my lashes quick. Alright, so that's curled. And I'm going to use the, let's go to my favorite mascara. Actually, no, we were using a new one this week, weren't we? Aha, yes we were. Where is it at? Is this it? I think this is it right here. Yes, this is the Bare Minerals, the Lash Domination. This is the one my friend Lashes Tony XO sent me. So I'm going to try this one out again today. This one's actually really nice. I like how small the wand is, but it doesn't give me a super amount of volume. It just gives me a little bit of length. So you'll probably see that as I'm putting it on, that you're going to see the more length than you do a volume. There's not a ton of volume here. So if you want more voluminous lashes, this I don't think is going to be a good one. It might just be that it's a sample size too though. So I don't know. This is just a little sample size. Sometimes the sample sizes are not as good as the full size. Sometimes they're better than the full sizes. I find that the It Cosmetics, the Superhero one, is better in the sample size because the full size for some reason leaks all over the top and it makes a giant mess. But in the sample size it doesn't do that. So I don't know, or the travel size, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to use 2 different mascaras today just to give myself a little bit more volume and length. I'm going to go back to my old standby. This is the Stila Extreme Huge Mascara. This is my favorite one. You guys know that. So this one does have a crazy wand, but I love this mascara. So let's see if this can help this one out a little bit. Give it a little bit more volume. Or if we're already stuck because they're kind of stuck together. We got spider lashes. I think we might be a little bit stuck here with what we got. I think what we got is what we got, guys. Alright. So there that is. I'll clean up the lid a little bit better after it dries. Now I'm going to make sure there's nothing under my eye quick before I go ahead and put my concealer under there. So for concealer today, I am using the It Cosmetics. This is the Eyelift in a tube. So it does have on one end, it has a corrector, and the other end it has an illuminator. So I want the corrector, not the illuminator. So I'm going to, this is very thick, but not quite as thick as the Baba Under Eye. I don't think so anyway. It's still pretty thick though, so don't be fooled. It's still pretty thick. But it's not quite as, the viscosity is a little bit different. So I'm going to tap that in using the damp beauty sponge. Uh-oh, we're going to lose battery. So I need to go ahead and finish this eye right here and change your battery quick. Alright, let's finish this eye. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and change your battery. What do I do with the battery? Here we go. So we're going to change your battery quick. Hang on, guys. Okay, so I changed the battery. You guys look a little crooked. Did you not have a V8 today, or what's going on here? I feel like you might be a little crooked. Or is it me? Maybe I need to go drink a V8. Do you guys remember that old commercial? Have your V8. Keep your diet straight. Oh gosh, speaking of diets, I have been so terrible. I need to get back on the weight loss train because I felt like I fell off that right after, or actually during like Halloween when all the candy was sitting around. I'm like, yeah, that's delicious. Now I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Because I wanted to be a certain size for the holidays, and guess what? That didn't happen. So now I need to actually be a little bit more cautious about like keeping the sweets away from myself, and not really the carbs. I'm not so worried about the carbs because I don't eat a ton of carbs. The carbs that I do eat is like the steel cut oatmeal. I love steel cut oatmeal. Do you guys ever tried steel cut oatmeal? It's freaking amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I love that oatmeal with a half a cut of banana in it and a little bit of cinnamon. Oh my gosh, that's some really, really yummy, yummy, delicious breakfast. Okay, so now I'm going to actually need it to keep that out, the concealer. So I need this concealer still because I do have, like I said, I have a little bit of acne issues going on right here. My little friends that are keep coming back that are so uninvited that they think that it's okay to continue to come without an invitation. Okay, I'm just going to press that in. My nose looks a little bit red right there. Now I'm going to, woo, it's looking a little bit crazy right there. It's looking a little bit cray. Alright, so now I'm going to put a little bit more of the It Cosmetics powder on there just to set that so it doesn't go anywhere. Set around my nose a little bit. I saw somebody baking the other night and they were like baking with like a ton of powder down the sides of their nose, and that's pretty much the only place they bake, and I was like, I've never seen baking done like that before. That's very interesting. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put my highlight on. I'm going to go back into the Distortion palette. Not highlight, I meant the inner corner highlight, so it's still a highlight. So I'm going to go into that purple shade, the Mind Game one. I'm going to take a little bit of that onto my pinky, and then I'm going to place that into my inner corner. Is it even showing? Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, it's showing up for sure. It's weird because like in certain lights you can't really see it, and then other lights it's like, whoa, there it is. It definitely showed up. Okay, so it's on both sides. I'm going to put just a little bit more on this side because I think I went a little bit more crazy on the other side. Alright, there's that part. Now I'm going to use my, this is a Visante, what is this, detail eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to use this to kind of sculpt out the bottom lash line a little bit. And I'm going to go into that purple shade again. Actually, I'm going to go into the black shade. This is the only matte shade in this entire palette, which is this black one right here. I'm going to go in a little bit into that. I'm going to lightly, very super lightly, go along my bottom lash line. And I'm going to do it again on the other side. And then again, very, very lightly. I don't want it to be super smoked out. And then I'm going to clean my brush off again, and I'm going to go in with the purple. So I'm going to put a little bit of the purple with the black. So let's go back into this one right here, which is Rogue or Rouge. I'm not even sure. Is it Rogue or Rouge? Because it looks like the VIB Rouge word. I'm just going to apply that over top of the black just to intensify it just a little bit with the black underneath and the purple on top. I'm going to go back in on this side and do the same thing. Intensify it a little bit. So there are the eyes. You guys will have to let me know what you think of this more purpley bluish look. I really like it actually. I'm starting to like cool tones, believe it or not. I was such a warm tone lover that now I'm like, I'm kind of liking all these cool tones. Now I'm going to go in and do my highlight. I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Incandescent Strobe Light. So this is like a pinky type of highlight. So I'm going to use this to highlight my cheekbones and up the side and highlight the other side. And then I'm going to highlight down the center of my nose. And then, ooh, I dropped my brush almost. Highlight here over top my eyebrow. Right there a little bit. So I just kind of lightly touched up with the highlight because this highlight's one that you really can't go overboard unless you purposely want to go overboard, unless you keep on building it up. Now I'm going to go in with my blush. I'm using the Insane Blush by the Balm. This is the one in Pinstripe. So I'm going to use this on a Sigma powder blush brush. So I'm just going to tap in very lightly because this blush right here can go crazy with the Cheese Whiz real quick. So I'm just going to put it on very lightly. Actually, it didn't go crazy. Maybe I used a lighter hand and maybe I used a heavier hand the other day. Who knows? I think it has a lot to do with how much pressure you... Oh, see, there it goes. Crazy with Cheese Whiz right there. Uh-oh, now we're going to blend that out. I always take mine up a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I take it up a little bit because I feel like it kind of raises my cheeks up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to take it down the center of my nose. And that is my blush. Now all we have left to do is clean up my eyelid. So I'm going to grab a Q-tip here. So here's a Q-tip. I'm going to clean my eyelid up a little bit. Just make sure that there's none of the mascara stuck on there. And then do the other side. I really like how this eyelet turned out. You have to let me know what you think of it. Now let's go into this little lip kit here. We're going to use the purple shade because, well, why not? We did purple eyes. We're just making Prince very happy today. So let's go into this one right here. This is the shade. Yeah, I need a magnifying glass. This is in the shade Boys Don't Cry. Okay, I couldn't hardly read that. So I'm going to use this purple shade. I don't know. That's a lot of purple, guys. That's a lot of purple. Maybe it'll look better once I... Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look the best with this eye look. You guys like ever like worry about like, I feel like I always end up going way outside of the line and the next thing I know I am looking like I'm trying to look like I had lip implants or something. I go way out real quick. Oh, I almost did it right there. Okay, so there is the purple with the purple eye. Not sure I love that. You know what we'll do? We'll put the old standby, the unicorn tears on top to see if that tones down the purple a little bit because I feel like if the purples just don't match, they don't mesh well. This is more of like a pinky purple and this is more of a purple, like a blue purple because we did it as a blue purple. So let's do this. I'll put it all over. See if that helps. It's not, we need a little bit more. Oh yeah, I love it now. It's got that blue purple look going on just like my eyes do. Yes, I love unicorn tears. That is such a lifesaver almost every single time. Okay, that is today's look. I'd love to know your thoughts, your opinions on it. I will have an additional look in the video. I don't know if I'll do that before or after. So I have 2 looks for you guys this week using this palette right here specifically. If you'd like to see more looks using this palette, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.